Welcome to our deep dive into the future of manufacturing. We're going to be talking about Industry 6.0.
Ooh, very interesting.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people are curious about.
Right.
And you've brought us a research paper to help us explore.
Yeah.
It's called A Sequential Roadmap to Industry 6.0, Exploring Future Manufacturing Trends.
Okay.
And it was published in IET Communications back in 2021.
All right.
So today we're going to unpack what Industry 6.0 might actually look like based on this research and, how it could impact our lives.
Well, what I find interesting is that this paper doesn't just, speculate about the future.
Right.
It really traces the entire path of manufacturing from like the very, very beginning.
Wow.
And gives us a roadmap from, past revolutions to these future possibilities.
So before we jump into this world of, robot medics and multidimensional printing, let's just quickly recap how we even got here.
Absolutely. So we have to start with the first industrial revolution, around 1760. Mechanization, water and steam power, iron.
Yeah.
That was a total game changer, right? It shifted us from handcrafted goods to mass production.
And then, of course, came the second industrial revolution, roughly from 1880 to 1973.
Yeah.
Steel, oil, and electricity really took center stage there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bringing us mass production lines, automobiles, telephones.
Huge changes.
Yeah, big shifts in communication, transportation, and energy.
Exactly.
Okay, so then, in the mid-20th century, the third industrial revolution arrived.
Yeah.
And it introduced computers and automation. Manufacturing became a lot more efficient, information more accessible.
Right.
And I think this is really where the seeds of our digital world were sown, which brings us to the fourth industrial revolution, the one we're living in right now.
Right now.
And it's all about blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds.
Interesting.
Through things like cyber-physical systems, the Internet of Things, AI, and big data.
And it's actually really fascinating to note that the concept of the Internet of Things was coined way back in 1999.
Really?
Yeah. Which highlights how these revolutions kind of build upon each other over time.
That's interesting. Okay, so Industry 4.0, it's still unfolding.
Right.
But its focus on automation and data is really setting the stage for what's next.
Yeah, the paper actually points to some key research areas here.
Like what?
Things like augmented reality, automated manufacturing, the Internet of Things, cloud computing, AI and machine learning, and big data.
So it really makes you wonder, could factories one day run without any human involvement at all?
I mean, that's the vision of Industry 4.0, but whether it's actually realistic or even desirable is a whole other question.
Right.
And this is where Industry 5.0 comes in, acting as a bridge between full automation and a future where humans and machines collaborate seamlessly.
So instead of replacing humans entirely, Industry 5.0 focuses on bringing the human element back in.
Yeah.
Collaboration between robots and humans, they call them cobots. And personalized manufacturing tailored to individual needs.
Exactly. And the research areas for Industry 5.0 are just fascinating.
Yeah, what are some of those?
Well, they delve into things like adapting to economic and legal changes.
Okay.
The ethical considerations of AI. And really this human-machine synergy.
The paper actually calls that Society 5.0 and modern policies.
Yes.
It also talks about intelligent manufacturing.
Right.
Which uses data-driven automation and demand-triggered production to kind of rethink economic models in this world of intelligent machines.
Makes sense.
Then we have advanced robotics, which explores different types of robots that are designed for very specific tasks.
Yeah. For example, monolith robots. Those are large, single-purpose machines, while modular robots can be reconfigured for different tasks as needed.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then there's compound robots, which combine elements of both approaches, offering a lot more flexibility and power.
And then there's medical healthcare and bioengineering technologies.
Now, this is where it gets really mind-blowing.
Okay, I'm ready.
Imagine 3D printing customized prosthetics or even organs based on an individual's unique anatomy.
Wow. That is mind-blowing.
The possibilities are astounding. And remember, Industry 5.0 isn't just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about harnessing that technology to improve the world for humans.
Which leads us to the heart of our deep dive, Industry 6.0.
Yes.
So what glimpses into this future does this research offer?
Well, the paper identifies 5 key technologies that could really drive this revolution.
Okay.
Multi-dimensional printing, robomedics, assistive home robotics, cumulative alternative energy, and something they call deep dive EEG.
Okay, those sound like some serious sci-fi concepts.
They do.
Can you break those down for us a little bit?
Yeah, let's start with multidimensional printing.
Okay.
Think of it like 3D printing on steroids, but with a much wider range of materials.
Okay.
Imagine printing these complex objects with multiple materials, even edible ones.
Really?
Yeah, like customized medicine that dissolves in specific parts of your digestive system.
Wow, that's personalized healthcare taken to a whole new level.
Right.
Okay, so what about these robomedics?
Robomedics are basically AI-powered robots
Okay.
that are designed to perform medical tasks.
Like what kinds of tasks?
Everything from diagnostics to even assisting in surgery.
Wow.
Imagine robots with such precision that they could reduce human error and risk during these complex procedures.
Okay, now that does sound straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I know.
What about assistive home robotics?
Okay, so not quite robot butlers,
Okay.
but assistive home robots are designed to help with everyday tasks, especially for the elderly or those with disabilities.
Yeah.
Imagine a robot that could fetch objects or help with household chores,
Yeah.
really increasing independence and comfort.
I can definitely see the appeal of that. And what about cumulative alternative energy?
So that's essentially a shift towards renewable energy sources like
Yep.
solar and wind power.
Okay.
And the research even speculates about the potential for nuclear fusion
Wow.
as a future energy source.
So a cleaner, more sustainable future powered by advanced energy technology. That's not to like. But what about this deep dive EG thing?
Okay, so deep dive EEG refers to advanced brain-computer interfaces.
Really?
Yeah, so imagine brain-computer interfaces that could control prosthetics,
Okay.
but with incredible precision, potentially even restoring senses like touch.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so picture this. Robots assisting with surgery, robots helping us at home, and medicine personalized to our exact needs, even 3D printed. Does this sound like a utopia or a dystopian sci-fi movie?
It's a future with immense potential,
Yeah.
but it definitely raises some questions as well.
Right.
We'll delve into those ethical considerations and potential challenges in the next part of our deep dive.
This is also fascinating. We've explored the evolution of manufacturing, the forces driving Industries 4.0 and 5.0, and gotten a glimpse into the potential of Industry 6.0.
It's a lot to take in.
But there's so much more to uncover.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Industry 6.0.
So, before we jumped in the break, we were talking about some pretty mind-blowing technologies like our robot medics, multidimensional printing, and assistive home robots.
Oh, very exciting stuff.
It is. But it's important, I think, to shift gears for a moment and consider the potential impacts of all this.
Right. We need to think about, what this means for us humans who will be living in this future.
Exactly. So according to the research, what are some of the, potential benefits and challenges we might face with Industry 6.0?
Well, on the positive side, I think one of the most significant benefits would be, the increase in efficiency and productivity
Okay.
in manufacturing.
Makes sense.
And this could lead to, lower costs for consumers and potentially even, greater economic prosperity overall.
And I imagine personalized manufacturing could completely revolutionize healthcare.
Oh, absolutely.
They were talking about, 3D printed medicine earlier.
Yeah.
What if everyone could receive medication tailored to their specific needs? Or imagine a prosthetic limb that seamlessly integrates with your body.
Exactly. And speaking of healthcare advancements in robomedics,
Yeah.
could make healthcare more accessible and affordable,
Okay.
especially in areas that are currently underserved.
That makes sense.
Robotic surgeons, with their precision and ability to eliminate human error, could potentially save more lives
Wow.
and improve patient outcomes significantly.
And we can't forget about those assistive home robots.
Oh, of course not.
They could be a total game changer for the elderly and people with disability,
Absolutely.
allowing them to live more independently and have a much better quality of life.
For sure. And of course, the shift towards renewable energy sources is vital for addressing climate change
Right.
and building a more sustainable future for everyone.
It really sounds like Industry 6.0 has the potential to improve our lives in countless ways.
It does.
But as with any major technological shift, I think there must be challenges to consider as well.
Oh, yeah.
So what does the research say about some of the potential downsides?
Well, one of the biggest concerns, and it's one that comes up with every industrial revolution, is the potential for job displacement.
Right.
As machines become more intelligent and capable, some tasks that are currently performed by humans will inevitably become automated.
That's something that we're already seeing happening in a lot of different industries.
Right.
Like new technologies create new jobs, but they also make certain existing jobs obsolete.
Precisely. And what makes Industry 6.0 different is the scale and pace
Okay.
at which that automation could occur. And the research really stresses the importance of retraining and upskilling the workforce to adapt to these changes.
Okay.
It's a big societal challenge that requires careful planning and investment from governments, businesses, and individuals alike.
It also makes you think about the potential impact on, economic inequality.
Oh, for sure.
If the benefits of Industry 6.0 increase productivity and lower costs, if those things aren't distributed equitably,
Right.
the gap between the rich and the poor could widen even further.
That's a very valid concern.
Yeah.
The paper touches on the need for, modern policies and economic reforms to ensure a just and equitable transition to Industry 6.0.
Okay.
It's not enough to just focus on the technological advancements.
Right.
We need to create a society where everyone benefits from these changes.
We've also talked about the potential benefits of AI-powered robots in healthcare. But what about the ethical implications
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
of all this advanced technology?
Right.
Robots performing surgery, robots in our homes, AI potentially making life or death decisions.
Yeah.
It raises a lot of questions.
You're right. And the research highlights the importance of addressing those ethical concerns around AI.
Okay.
It emphasizes the need for transparency, accountability, and fairness in algorithmic decision-making.
Right.
We have to develop and implement ethical guidelines and regulations to prevent AI from being used in ways that could harm or discriminate against individuals or groups.
And it was so much of our lives becoming so interconnected through technology.
Yeah.
What about data privacy and security? The potential for misuse of personal data is a huge concern.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the research doesn't delve too deeply into data privacy specifically.
Okay.
It's undeniably a crucial consideration.
Right.
As we move towards this hyper-connected world, establishing robust safeguards to protect our privacy and prevent data breaches is gonna be essential.
Here's another thought that comes to mind. We're essentially talking about handing over more and more control to machines.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for human autonomy and agency? Will we become too reliant on technology, even for, basic tasks?
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
I think the key is finding the right balance between human capabilities and machine efficiencies.
Right.
Industry 6.0 shouldn't be about replacing humans altogether,
Right.
but rather augmenting our abilities and finding ways for humans and machines to collaborate effectively.
I like that.
We need to ensure that humans remain in control, able to make critical decisions, and override automated systems when necessary.
It sounds like Industry 6.0 presents this really complex mix of potential benefits and challenges.
It does.
It's both exciting and a bit daunting.
It certainly is, but it's also a future that we can help shape
Okay.
if we approach it thoughtfully and proactively.
Right.
And that's why discussions like this are so important.
Yeah.
We need to be aware of the potential impacts of these technologies, both positive and negative, so that we can make informed choices and guide this revolution in a direction that benefits all of humanity.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From, the potential wonders of Industry 6.0 to some very real concerns. But the big question remains, what can we actually do to prepare for this future?
That's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Industry 6.0.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. We've covered a lot of ground in this episode.
From exploring all those potential technologies
Yeah.
to discussing, the potential benefits and challenges.
Right. And now we're at the part where I think we ask the big question. What can we actually do to prepare for this future?
That is the big question. And honestly, I think the very first step is awareness.
Okay.
We need to, stay informed about the trends that are shaping Industry 6.0 and understand how they might impact our lives, our jobs, our communities.
So basically, keep listening to podcasts like this one.
Exactly. Engaging in thoughtful discussions and staying informed through credible sources, it's crucial.
And what about skills?
Yeah.
We know that some jobs are very likely to become obsolete, right?
Unfortunately.
As automation advances. So what can we do to kind of stay ahead of the curve?
Well, the research really emphasizes the importance of lifelong learning and adaptability.
Okay.
Because the skills that are in high demand today might not be the skills that are needed tomorrow.
So we need to be proactive, embrace new technologies, and be willing to constantly, learn and adapt throughout our careers.
Absolutely. And it's also worth, focusing on skills that are less likely to be automated.
Like what kinds of things?
Things like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, emotional intelligence.
Okay, yeah. Those are all skills that robots can't replicate so easily?
At least not yet.
Right.
So in a world where, machines are taking over more of those routine tasks, those uniquely human skills become even more valuable.
So sure.
And don't underestimate the importance of human connection and communication.
Oh, yeah.
In a world that's increasingly driven by technology, I think those skills will be more vital than ever.
I agree with you. This all makes sense. But let's get even more specific.
Yeah.
Are there any particular fields or industries that you think will be especially important in the age of Industry 6.0?
Well, based on the research, I'd say fields related to artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, renewable energy, data science, those will be in very high demand.
Okay.
These are the areas that are driving the Industry 6.0 revolution.
So if you're thinking about a career change or advising young people on career paths, those are definitely the areas to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. But it's not just about those technical skills either.
Right.
We also need people who can think critically about the ethical and social implications of all these technologies. People who can, advocate for the responsible development and use of AI, other advanced technologies.
So we need ethicists, philosophers, social scientists, people who can help us navigate that complex human side of this technological revolution.
Exactly. At the end of the day, we all have a role to play in shaping the future.
Yeah.
We can engage in these conversations about the ethical use of AI, support policies that promote responsible innovation, and invest in education and training programs, that prepare people for the jobs of the future.
Well, this has been a truly eye-opening deep dive. I mean, we've journeyed from the steam engine to robot surgeons.
It's amazing, right?
And it's clear that Industry 6.0 isn't just some distant sci-fi fantasy.
No.
It's a future that's being shaped right now.
Right now.
And we actually have the power to influence its trajectory.
We do. It's a future full of potential, both amazing and, a bit daunting.
Right.
But by understanding the trends, embracing lifelong learning, and engaging in these thoughtful discussions, we can all play a part in making this a future that benefits all of humanity.
I like that. So to our listener, we leave you with this. The future of manufacturing is in constant evolution, but what role do you want to play in shaping it?
Yeah, what are your hopes? What are your concerns about Industry 6.0?
Don't just be a bystander in this revolution. Be informed, be engaged, and help us create a future that we can all be proud of.
Well said.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.